The GoPro Karma Grip is a great addition for on-the-go sports photography. Affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and fertility. Fertility has been something that I've talked about for a while on this channel in terms of overall worldwide population growth. From the year 1979 to 1999, we went from 3 billion people to 6 billion people in the largest expanse ever in human history. I mean, up until like, I think even like the 1900s, it was like 1 billion people is all that who have lived. I mean, it was just like massive, massive expanse over the course of that 100 years, especially the last 20 years. We saw a doubling of our population, but apparently that's not happening anymore, right? A new study confirms that a huge drop in men's sperm levels might make most men infertile by 2060. And if you've seen the show The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, you know what's coming. The rapening. I'm kidding. Clearly I'm kidding. But I mean, this is something that's been going on. So it says here that sperm count in men from North America, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand declined by 50 to 60% between 1973 and 2011, according to a new study from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, which is interesting because we had such a huge population boom during that time period anyway, right? So if the sperm declined, people were seriously bumping uglies, man. Pelvises are just being rocked together constantly. Must have been a really good time to be sexually active. I was born too late. Surprisingly, the study, which analyzed data on the sperm counts of 42,935 men, found no decline in sperm counts for men in Asia, Africa, and South America, although there was limited data from these areas. Well, if it's impacting what can be argued as the Western world, you can be sure that it's impacting the eastern side of things as well, especially Asia and South America, where there's got to be lots of pollution and other factors that have come into this as well. Africa, I mean, who knows? Who freaking knows? They kill some people in Africa. You have no idea who gets born there. And that's just, it's a horrible war zone in many parts of Africa. It's really terrible. Overall, this is a very disturbing report. There have been a long-standing debate among scientists as to whether sperm counts have decreased or not. But what's different about the study is the quality of the analysis. It was done in a systemic manner, accounting for several of the problems that had affected previous studies, such as the method used to count sperm and comparing studies performed sometimes decades apart. As such, most experts agree that the data presented is of high quality and that the conclusions, although alarming, are reliable. And I wonder if this has anything to do with the fact that they've said that, as I said, from 79 to 1999, we had 3 billion to 6 billion people. And then now we're over 7 billion, almost 20 years later, 18 years later. And then they're saying like 9 billion by 2050. So, I mean, it's still going up, but it's not skyrocketing. It's not spurting up as much as it was in those 20 years. So it makes me wonder if a declining sperm count has been a problem. I thought it was people just kind of like having this weird kind of, you could say like, societal pushback against giving birth, but we're hearing about declining birth rates in Japan. So, and it's just people that there are some people who just aren't getting together. But Norway is having a similar problem. Smaller countries are talking about birth declines from different pockets of the world. So I would say that, yes, probably declining sperm count has something to do with it. I myself am having a daughter come December. So, I could be one of those few that's gonna save the world. I knew I had a purpose. I knew I had a purpose, Mom. Haha, joke's on you. I'm gonna repopulate the planet. Freeze my cum now. That's what's gonna happen. So what's going on? There's been a lot of concern for a number of years about an increase in abnormalities in male reproductive health, such as testicular cancer. The decline in sperm counts is consistent with these increases, and this adds weight to the concept that male reproductive health is under attack and is declining rapidly. See, we never talk about male reproductive health. We never do. We never get that discussion at all in modern science, in like the modern forefront of society. You never get that discussion. It's always just like, it's men are fine. Testicular cancer, prostate cancer, F that N, it doesn't matter at all. It's totally fine. clearly there's a problem here. If sperm counts are dropping as much as they claim that they're dropping, there's got to be a factor here. Now, I wear, at least right now, it's laundry day. I'm wearing not my favorite pair of boxers. My twig and berries are scrunched up inside there, so I am pretty certain like nothing's being produced. But it doesn't already matter because I guess I've already done my job, at least for the time being. So anyway, so I mean that could be a factor. Sitting down, working menial tasks where you're sitting all the time can have a factor on sperm count as well. So it says, in fact, the data on sperm counts is extrapolated to its logical conclusion. Men will have little or no reproductive capacity from 2060 onwards. The most rational explanation for the decline in male reproductive health is changes in the environment, as I kind of mentioned before. Current research suggests that the male foetus is particularly susceptible to exposure to pollutants, and so changes that occur early in fetal life can have a very significant effect on the adult, which I've heard about this before myself. That would make some sense. I mean, if your tadpoles ain't swimming, then you ain't going to be having no babies and whatnot. I don't know how the hell mine were working. Again, I sit on my ass most of the time doing this for a job. I play lots of video games. I'm not the most athletic person out there, although I do need to change that. I drink a Rockstar a day. I drink a lot of tea. And I'm pretty sure I have a healthy amount of masturbatory habits. So I don't know. Probably a bit TMI in the last one there, but I'm conversing with the audience. It says here that what can be done. The simple answer is we need much more research to find out why this decline in sperm count is happening. We cannot be complacent about the potential negative effect on fertility and must now urgently rally to substantially increase the research effort into male reproductive health. Thank you. Finally, talking about the men's problems, because men have issues. Testicular cancer being one of them, male reproductive health being another one. That is definitely something worth looking into because it takes two to tango, and if one person can't tango and they're firing off some blanks, then there's going to be a problem here. Especially 2060 really isn't that far away. It's only 43 years. That's like half a generation. That's really not that far away. It will be here before you know it. The 200th Marvel movie will be coming before you know it. Although also the prevailing evidence shows a decline in reproductive health, not all studies shows this. There are some geographical differences. It will be critical to determine what the key differences between geographical regions are, such as genetic differences and exposure to specific pollutants, so we can then examine treatment strategies to limit these negative effects. I agree, they should definitely be looking into this. Because here's the thing too, is we've seen, like, again, Handmaid's Tale, like I've referenced. There's a movie, Children of Men, and it kind of gets put on the women in those stories, right? Like they can't get pregnant. That kind of falls on the women. Whereas Handmaid's Tale made an interesting point about saying, like, yeah, but the men are the ones who are sterile, and I thought that was interesting because Children of Men kind of made it like the women became infertile. And it again takes two to fucking tango here. So clearly there's got to be something looked into on this one. Because my daughter will be in her early 40s by 2060. So, I'll be in my late 60s. I'll be in my late 70s. Yeah, be in my late 70s by then. So clearly I'll want grandchildren, and clearly I want her to be able to get the boots knocked up if that's what she's into. I'm not going to sit there and say what she might not want to have kids. But it finishes here by saying, if it is the foetus that is mainly affected, what can the adult male do? Even in adults, exposure to chemicals such as bisphenol A, which are thought to affect fertility, can have a negative impact. So men should limit their exposure to toxic chemicals. This includes stopping smoking. Also, a healthy lifestyle is very important, as there is a known link between obesity and reduced sperm count. Well, listen up. Scrolling whatever website this is. Oh, wait, technically, I'm considered fat. I'm not considered obese. I'm not Joy Sparkle. I'm not 1 pound over obese. What the hell was that anyway? The point is, I'm considered fat by the doctor's analysis. Therefore, my sperm count's apparently fine. Cool beans. But there's a bit of a trend here. Just to touch upon this. This was reported not too long ago broadly, that women are freezing their eggs due to a deficit in educated men. All right. So this is basically turning in to the opening of like idiocracy, where people are waiting till later to have kids, because they think that that's, they're going to want to find, someone with a gender studies degree and a good job, and then have them impregnate their egg in order then to have children. That is something that could be happening here. And I have a feeling these women who are freezing their eggs, they're going to be in there a long time, because if the men can't send the boys upstream to hit that uterus and to fertilize that egg, then there's that to consider. I'm just saying there's that to consider as well. So we're in an age right now where men's reproductive health is going to hopefully become a very hot topic of discussion, and one that will get people of all genders to realize needs to be discussed if we actually want to have a future. If not, then I guarantee we're going to probably see a large rise in companies that are going to be ready to to freeze sperm until such a time as to when an egg and sperm can be connected and the fertilization process can be completed and the life can be born. And it kind of takes me to the idea of like The Handmaid's Tale, where if they catch it early enough, they're going to sit there and like that's going to be how they have children. Like, could you imagine that? Just kind of a weird little side topic here. Could you imagine that in like a future where it's like, you get tested for your sperm count, you have to deposit constantly, just to make sure. So you have women freeze their eggs and men have to continue depositing so they have enough to potentially restock the planet if something were to happen, like a weird Garden of Eden kit, but for like spunk and eggs. It could, I mean, it could happen. Probably won't if we catch it early enough, and it's good they're talking about it now. 2060 is a long ways away. We can reverse this. But if it's anything like climate change, you're going to get a lot of people saying like, we're totally fine. Look at everyone out there having kids. There's no problem. There's no problem. Ice caps aren't melting. Jizz is still a-flowing. Everything is fine. I really hope those people aren't the ones leading this conversation, because all we're going to be doing at that point is spinning our wheels and waiting for Al Gore to make a documentary about the infertility of men. Well, guys, that wraps up this video. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to toss it a thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe. Also, hit that bell so you guys can be up to date on all the videos I post every single day on this platform. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been the Mundane Matt channel. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll talk to you later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.